Dairy farmers use bale feeding technology to customise the amount and type of grain and concentrate supplements that each individual cow gets. A 2018 TechKISS survey found that 35% of dairy farms in New South Wales had individual cow bale feeding facilities, especially larger herds. Using pasture to maximum effect is a key driver of farm profitability in Australia's pasture-based dairying systems. Cows have been bred to produce milk, and they need to eat enough to do this without losing too much body condition or adversely affecting their reproductive performance. Providing the right nutrients can be challenging in year-round calving herds, where different cows are at different stages in their lactation. New South Wales farmers use computerised bale feeding technology because it gives them the flexibility to feed groups of cows differently, such as feeding to each cow's milk production, stage of lactation or body weight, feeding to manage body condition in early or late lactation, to lead feed springers, or to gradually ramp up the daily allocation of grain and concentrate to freshly calved cows, which allows the rumen to adapt and reduces the risk of ruminal acidosis. Also to prepare for drying off, or to change the amount given in very cold windy weather or when it's very hot. Some of the reasons for feeding cows differently have a stronger scientific basis than others. Vets and nutritionists see the capacity to reduce supplementary feeding as an important management tool in preparing cows for drying off, whereas the benefits of feeding to production are more controversial. In this video, we'll cover how computerised bale feeding works, what makes it smart, what products are available in Australia, and advice from farmers and service providers about how to make it work for your farm. Essentially, three pieces of information come together to enable computerised bale feeding. The feed controller tells the dispenser the type and amount of feed to drop into the feed bin for a particular cow. The rest is surround sound that makes this happen. Like any feeding system, there are one or more silos with augers to deliver the feed to the feed heads and hoppers. And like any individual cow management technology, you need to be able to identify the cow with her electronic identification being read by an EID reader. The reader can be a single antenna at the entry to the milking shed, which means bales are assigned to cows in the order that the cows are read. The other more expensive option is to have a reader in every bale. With this setup, the bale always matches the cow regardless of any argy-bargy that occurs after cows enter the shed. The other important component is the feed tables in the feed management software, which is where you set up what you want to give each individual or group of cows. The feed controller controls delivery of feed via the dispensers, which measure the ration into each feed bin. Rotary systems with one dispenser for each feed type near the entry are the simplest setup, while herringbone dairies have a dispenser at each bale position. The project has put together a spreadsheet of the computerised feeding systems available in Australia. This list is called the Tech Matrix. You can find it on the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries website. This slide shows the first page of the Tech Matrix. Technologies that have a white star and a blue circle are included in the Tech Matrix. To get to the bale feeding page, click on the Bale Feeding tab. 10 companies provide computerised bale feeding systems suitable for rotary or herringbone milking sheds. Some also make automatic feed systems for use on feed pads or in paddocks, but they're not covered here. The first 4 product entries are shown here. The product name is given in the column on the left. The other columns show whether NLIS e-tags can work the gate. In New South Wales in 2018, 71% of bale feeding systems were operating using NLIS e-tags. The next column shows whether the system requires milk meters to work, most don't, and what software is used as the feed controller, which is often the same as the compatible herd management software. The rest of this tech talk is about making computerised bale feeding equipment work for you, getting the ration that is specified in the feed table to the target cow. These insights come from farmers and service providers who have experience with the technology. The accuracy of a computerised feeding system is directly affected by the physical setup of the dairy. For systems where the antenna is located at the entrance to the milking shed, it's important that cows can't pass each other or back out once their EID has been read. The race leading into the shed portal should encourage smooth cow flow and be sufficiently long and narrow so cows can't back out. Cows held at a small 30 to 50 degree angle in herringbones are less likely to pass each other once they are in the dairy than cows that stand at 90 degrees to the pit. The bales and feed troughs should be designed so cows have their own clearly defined space and can't poach feed from their neighbours. If you are using ear tags for EID, always tag the right ear. There have been cases with in-bale readers where an EID in the left ear of a cow has resulted in a cross-read. A lot of things need to be working in unison to deliver the right type and amount of feed to the right cow. The feeding system needs ongoing oversight. It needs people to make it work. Having a regular shed routine can help avoid some of the common slippages. This includes making sure the silos are correctly filled. The augers are working and the feed is being delivered as expected. For example, it's not too damp. And the computer is working and the feed tables are up to date. Most computerised systems deliver a specific volume of feed, which is controlled by the auger speed. Because the density of grain and concentrate, how much a litre of feed weighs, is variable, dispensers need to be calibrated for every new load of feed to ensure cows are getting their allocated weight of feed. Get a feed controller that integrates with your herd management software. Using variable feeding rates is as good as the criteria used to select cows, and this can be readily scrutinised if data, such as days in milk, milk yield or body condition, is automatically accessible to the system. Feeding is one situation where it's critical to be able to get immediate support, preferably on the same day as a problem is identified. Points to help you get the most from your computerised bale feeding equipment are summarised on a TechKISS topic sheet. You can use this to help discuss what's best for your farm when talking with your tech suppliers, service providers and other farmers. We hope this information has been useful. Other cow management technologies covered in this series include auto drafting, inline milk meters and activity meters.